Turns out I needed a curved bridge. I wasn't real sure how to do that. Originally I had a sawmill with a pond inside here, and so I had a mountain scene. But I decided I'd rather have a town right there in the middle, which would mean I needed a bridge because I laid track that goes from here clear to here, and I didn't think a mountain going all the way around the town made a whole lot of sense. So I need to make some bridges. What better way to do it than to boil some water and drop some sticks into the boiling water and let it cook for about 10 minutes. Once it was done, pulled them out and started bending them to fit the radius of the curve that I would need. So I did this a couple of nights. I did one for the inside and one for the outside and let it dry overnight, and then the next day I did another set. So I had 2 complete sets of sticks, one for the inside radius, one for the outside radius, and I needed the thing to be too thick. So once it had all dried and hardened into a little bit of the curve, I then took some glue and put the thing together. Now I did it like you would stack bricks. I cut the short piece and glued it to one end, and then I started taking the longer sticks and gluing them together, and using my clothespins I clipped it together so the glue would dry and give me a nice bond on that. So just worked my way around till I had all the sticks together to go all the way around the radius that I would need for the bridge. And then I let this rest overnight, and then I did it the next day and did the other side. And then once they're dried, of course, you pull the clothespins off, and I had a nice curve. Then I needed to raise it up, and I needed that to be underneath the rails. So I measured the distance between the rails and then proceeded to cut a bunch of sticks to make that work. So once I got the first one cut and it fit, then I just mass produced a whole bunch of these joiners and separators. Put a little bit of wood glue on either end of it, and then made the spacers to fit the 2 sections that would fit under the rails. And I tried to do it with wires, but that wasn't working, so then I pinned it into place just on the railroad where it would fit. Then I cut out styrofoam to fit the hold up the bridge, and I cut the grooves in it so the wood would fit over top of it. And then I put the rails in and pinned them into place to force the flex track into the radius that I needed. And I took the 2 pieces of track and soldered the rail joints together, and then pinned them into place, and then used the ability of the flex track and the bridge parts to put the whole thing together. I'll need to cut some ties and fill in that gap there, but I soldered those pieces together to have one continuous piece because the stress on that could cause derailments. Then of course we just have to check it out to see how the train runs over it, and I was really pleased that I was able to connect the 2 ends of it, so I have my golden spike moment. I can now run trains all the way around the outer loop and the inner loop. So come back for part 2 when we finish the bridge. I just wanted to make sure it would work and I could bend the wood, and there's more to come on building this bridge.